When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. Now, this is the first part of the Son of Brainiac. Will Brainiac Zero follow in his father's footsteps and become more of a monster than Brainiac could ever be? Or will he walk the path of righteousness and good and redeem himself of all the crimes he has committed? This is the story of Brainiac Zero. Will he follow the status quo of all Brainiacs, or will he rebel and guide his own path? As we start our story off in Metropolis, where Brainiac once again is trying to capture Metropolis and kill Superman, as you can see shockwaves of their battle in the sky. Rapid sonic booms could be heard and seen in the air. Brainiac and Superman once again were visible as their fists collided with each other, making a huge shockwave of wind pressure. How many times has we clashed, Brainiac? You know I will always win. Justice will always prevail. I will always be victorious, and you will always fail. Doesn't matter, son of Krypton. You could destroy thousands of my bodies. I will win eventually. I'm eternal. I am the future and past. I am Brainiac. As they continued their clash, Brainiac used one of his metal tendrils to hit Superman across the face, making him shoot off like a rocket into several nearby buildings. Brainiac was forced to take his attention off of Superman as Wonder Woman came charging towards him as she smashed her shield across Brainiac's face, making Brainiac shoot like a rocket himself into several buildings on the opposite end of the battlefield. Diana had to dodge several energy beams shooting out of the dust cloud. Brainiac slowly hovered out of the dust cloud and continuously to shoot energy beams out of his eyes. Diana rushed forward and draw out her sword, abandoning all caution. As she began to swing her sword, she swung several sword slashes at Brainiac. Brainiac simply backhanded Wonder Woman as she went flying into several buildings. As Superman came flying in, the moment he got in range, he began to swing his fists and landed several blows onto Brainiac's skull. As the protected shell of Brainiac's skull is beginning to buckle under the pressure, as sparks begin to fly off of the half of his face is destroyed. Brainiac's upgraded copy body still has flaws. It can't fully withstand Superman's punches. Superman's strength is just too much for Brainiac in this current body. But Brainiac wasn't going to sit by and be defeated again. Tried to resist, but Superman's strength was just too much, as Superman used his heat vision to compromise the core of his body. This body is only made of mechanics, well, pieces of metal. It's a robot body, basically what it is. As the core of the body was ruptured, as Brainiac began to blow up from the inside. As there's nothing left but scraps of Brainiac, Brainiac lost once again. Suddenly, Brainiac opened his eyes in his original body. That's a mixture between flesh and advanced technology. He got up from his throne on his mothership as he put his hands behind his back as he stares at the monitor that shows the endless view of the galaxy. Seems like I lost once again to the son of Krypton. I think I need a new approach to this problem. As much as it pains me to admit this, I need some assistance. But I have no interest in seeking help from lower life forms or trying to make an alliance when they ultimately will betray me. It's natural for lower life forms. An idea popped in his mind as Brainiac got a disturbing smirk. I won't just make an ally, I'll make a companion. A son worthy to stand by my side. Brainiac got a wicked idea as he immediately began to initiate the first stages of his son's creation by going around the galaxy and collecting DNA from the most powerful aliens across the vast galaxy or universe. Luckily for Brainiac, he has some spare DNA from a Kryptonian that goes by the title as Supergirl. He'll have to splice the DNA to keep all the positives and remove all the negatives. But her DNA alone won't be enough. He needs to gather more. He'll use his blood and Supergirl's blood, or DNA, for the basis of his son. Brainiac begins to roam the galaxy using his small nanobots to gather up and collect DNA from the most powerful beings in the galaxy. But the template for his son, he'll use his DNA and Supergirl's. What flesh he still has on his body. He has several of his genetic DNA in cold storage before he elevated to Brainiac when he was still a carbon life form. It only took Brainiac half a year to gather up all the genetic material to begin the process of creating his son, a biological android. It only took him a full year to fully create his son, Brainiac Zero. He looks like a small humanoid boy with green hair and green eyes. As a small child walked out of the test tube, Brainiac Zero looked around the room he's in as he turned to his attention towards the only person in this room, his father. Welcome to the universe, Brainiac Zero, and I am your creator, your father. Inquiry, please. What is father? A father is a guardian, teacher, and protector of any offspring they bring into the world. You have much to learn. You might have superior intellect, almost that matches mine, but you're still new to the universe. Brainiac hooked Brainiac Zero onto a chair and placed a helmet that's connected to the supercomputer in his mothership as he starts to download information, everything he has collected over the years, right into Brainiac Zero's mind. Brainiac has no plans to make his son naive about the galaxy. Everything he's learned from this point he'll be passing down to his son. Even if the unlikelihood he is destroyed, he calculated about 2% chance of that occurring in the future. His son, Brainiac Zero, will continue in his stead if he was ever to be destroyed by many of his enemies. He's going to groom him to be the perfect life form. He's still young. All of the DNA that was used to create him hasn't fully developed yet. So he'll learn. The more he learns, the more he will evolve. He doesn't age like normal carbon life forms. Once he acquired enough information, he'll reach a more appropriate age for combat. More he learns, the more he evolves, until he reaches his final evolved form. His appearance won't change. He just gets far more powerful. After all, Brainiac designed him to be so. It only took 3 months for Brainiac Zero to reach his appropriate form to be sure he's battle ready. As Brainiac Zero entered the main bridge of Brainiac's mothership, Brainiac Zero looks like a humanoid teenager. He looks to be around 19 years old, with long green hair and glowing green eyes. The sparks of green electricity is emanating off his body. Father, you wanted to speak to me? Excellent timing, Brainiac Zero. You have learned much. You have far more to learn before you've fully grown into your abilities. Now the only thing you're lacking is experience. Are you sending me to Earth to kill the son of Krypton? Not yet, my boy. You're not ready to face that challenge yet. I tasked you to explore the galaxy using one of my spare motherships and gather information on any civilization and capture any cities that holds vital information. I permit you to shrink them and add them to your collection. As you command, Father. Brainiac Zero left the main mothership. As he entered one of his father's spare motherships, the moment he was on board, he immediately commanded the ship to take off. As it flies through the galaxy looking for worlds, that looks promising. This is basically what the ship looks like. That's a reference. Brainiac Zero arrived at his first planet. It was a planet of an alien species. They look humanoid in nature. Every member of their civilization have a form of super strength, nowhere near on the level of a Kryptonian, but it's still impressive amount of strength they're able to unleash. Every member of their little civilization depends on person to person. Some has stronger super strength than others. Brainiac Zero gave his command as Brainiac bots shoot out of his mothership as the mothership hovers down above the city. As he bombards the city with Brainiac bots, shooting from the mothership into the ground, as the Brainiac bots immediately open fire upon the alien species. Brainiac Zero watches the first initial conflict between his Brainiac bots and this alien civilization. Not only do they have impressive physical strength, they also have pretty advanced technology at their disposal, nowhere near what his father can produce, but it's still impressive for lower life forms. Not a threat to him, of course, but still impressive. Brainiac Zero saw several Brainiac bots get destroyed, and they're even resisting. It was quite impressive for their level of intellect. So Brainiac Zero sent out several Brainiac data collector bots to start downloading all information on the alien supercomputers in the capital that they're currently hovering over. They were specifically made by Brainiac Zero. They're for infiltration, data collecting bots that have installed a cloaking device built into them. And they also have very powerful weapons that was built into them. Very dangerous. They could vaporize a normal person in seconds. They're less effective against stronger species, like the Kryptonian or any of the new gods, but it'll still hurt like hell. Brainiac Zero noticed a small group of aliens are showing impressive prowess in battle, and started to destroy his Brainiac bots one after another, so he decided to personally crush their hopes in his hands and leave the lower lifeforms in total despair. Brainiac Zero floated out of the mothership and began to hover down. As he got close enough for them to hear them. Greetings, lower lifeforms. I am Brainiac Zero. Rejoice. Your death is upon you. I will release you from this mortal coil. But unfortunately, for you, lot, as he stared down at the small group of the aliens that are resisting, lot deserve a personal reward for destroying so many of my Brainiac bots. I grant you the gift of death, personally. Fortunately, your death will not be painless. Brainiac Zero appeared right in front of one of them in milliseconds and grabbed the alien by the face as he immediately began to shock the alien with his green electricity. As he crushed his skull as blood and brain matter scatter all around him. The three alien warriors surround Brainiac Zero on all sides. You're a monster. We're going to put a stop to you right here, right now. We can't allow something like you to explore the galaxy and cause more chaos and carnage and death. Pretty bold words from lower lifeforms. Very well. Show me what you got. I'll even give you the first move. As Brainiac Zero put his hands behind his back with a cold and emotional expression on his face. All three of the aliens that surrounding Brainiac Zero rush and throw out a powerful strike all at once, hitting Brainiac Zero in the face, the chest, and the side of the ribs. As a small shockwave was felt, as wind pressure was created, as all four of them were sunk into the ground a little bit, but their eyes widened, seeing Brainiac Zero was not even affected by it, not by the slightest. He simply flicked one of the aliens in the head, in the head with his finger, as his head exploded into pieces of skull and brain matter, scattered all around the area, as the headless body dropped to the ground dead. All you have, very disappointing. My turn. Brainiac Zero dug his hand into one of the alien's chests, ripping out his heart, as the warrior dropped down to the ground dead, leaving only one of them left. Now there's only one. As he turned to the last standing warrior that dared challenge him, Brainiac Zero eyes begin to glow bright green color as a green heat vision beam shoot out and vaporize the alien warrior. Only thing left of the alien was a charred skeleton. Heed my words, lower life forms. Was this the strongest warriors you're able to produce? If you're able to impress me, I'll add the city to my collection. If you succeed in this, you will survive, but unfortunately the rest of your species outside of this city will not. After I capture your city and shrink it and make it the first addition to my collection, then I will vaporize your entire planet. You have 4 hours to gather your strongest warriors in a sort of tournament. My own personal amusement. And remember, you lower, disgusting beings, the fate of your undeveloped planet is on the line. You have 4 hours to muster a resistance. Zero begins to hover up in the air and return to his mothership and wait for them to gather their strongest warriors. He might be the son of Brainiac, but he likes to do things his own way. Despite his emotional expression on his face, he thrives for battle. An hour before the tournament begins, he created a tournament arena made of stone using his telekinesis and cutting pieces of the nearby mountain into tile of the arena floor for the tournament ring that's plastered right in the middle of the city. After he destroyed a good portion of the area, even created audience stands for the civilians to watch their warriors die, one after another. It didn't take long for them to gather up their warriors and make their way into the tournament arena in the middle of the city. As Brainiac Zero has his hands behind his back, waiting for everyone to gather up. He has his back turned from the aliens, just gazing into the distance. He turned around. He turned around and see the warriors that they managed to gather up. They're a lot bigger than the last ones he killed. They're most likely stronger as well. Not a threat to him, of course, but it should be at least entertaining. They gathered about 5 of them. Good, you have arrived. So you were only able to gather 5 of you, strongest warriors. Very well, lower life forms. This will be a 1 versus 1 tournament. And anyone breaks the rules, your planet's fate will be forfeit, and I will destroy it immediately. Now, let's the first match commence. Who wants to challenge me first? Just a reminder, these battles are death matches. There is no quitting, no giving up, only death. The bigger aliens, warriors, came into the ring. He charged at Brainiac Zero. Zero simply dodged out of the way of each strike. He's awful slow to Brainiac Zero, as he slammed his knee into the alien's stomach, making him cough up spit and blood, as the bulky alien got some distance. Zero only stood there, waiting for the alien to make his next move. Zero made the alien unnerve how calm and collective he is. He hasn't shown a single emotion the entire time he's been on this planet, killing their people. Now, whatever this thing is, he could easily slaughter everyone if he wanted to. But for some reason, he doesn't outright slaughter them and making them be part of some sort of sick tournament of pretty much death matches. The aliens can't really understand his motives. Short pause. Brainiac Zero will adopt the name of Izuku and Deku, not for quite some time. He'll adopt Deku before he adopts the name Izuku, but that's not for some quite time. Until then, I will refer him as Brainiac Zero or just Zero for short. Now let's continue with the story. The alien rushed forward and managed to land a direct hit on Zero, forcing him to skid backwards from the force of the blow. But Zero managed to block the attempt, causing him no harm. Impressive strength for a lower life form. But at the end of the day, it's futile. Zero grabbed the alien's fist in his hands, as everyone could hear a crunch noise, as his hand shattered into a million pieces, as the alien kneels down to one knee, screaming out in pain. He extended his other hand outward directly towards the alien's chest, as a huge wave of green energy came out of the palm of his hand, engulfing the warrior, leaving nothing left but the body imprint of a charred skeleton. Basically, a charred skeleton. Basically, there's just an outline of his skeleton on the ground. It was the only sign that he was even there. Who's next? Second warrior entered the arena. He immediately charged. His movements was met with a vicious knee in his stomach by Zero. As the alien coughed up spit when Brainiac's Zero's knee made contact with his stomach, Zero grabbed the alien by the face and tossed him around the arena. As he begins to roll across the arena ground, as he skid across the arena ground until he finally stopped moving, as he slowly began to get back up and wipe the spit and blood from his mouth. You're a monster. I'm gonna kill you. I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that, and I keep killing you. Your kind. Very well, warrior. Show me your wrath. To me, you're more than just talk. After all, your plan is on the line. Impress me. Save your city. Save your people. And destroy me to save your pathetic planet. Your chances are actually acceptable. Your chances of actually accomplishing this, it's very unlikely. You have a 0.01% chance of succeeding. Your arrogance will be your downfall, monster. Unlikely. It's not arrogance, you lower life form. It's pure fact. It's reality of your situation. But you have a fighting chance, regardless. No matter how small that fighting chance is. Even if you fail here today, the other three of you who are watching the battle will have the same amount of chances to accomplish, to save your people. The buff alien rushed towards Zero, only for his attack to get blocked easily. As Zero gut punched the alien, from the punch made the alien get lifted off the air a couple inches, as Zero grabbed him by the face and slammed him back to the ground, making the back of his head hit the ground hard, making spider cracks underneath him. He kicked the alien in the face as he goes shooting off like a rocket, skidding across the arena ground. He slowly walked towards him and slammed his foot into his chest, making him cough up spit and blood, and grabbed hold on his arm, and completely ripped it off his body, and began to beat him with his own arm that he ripped off. The bystanders gasped in horror as the three other competitors clenched their fists and grind their teeth in frustration. Zero grabbed the alien by the face and roughly began to electrocute him as electricity is running through Zero's arm into the alien's body, making the alien warrior twitch and scream as his body go limp. As he tossed the alien's body to the side, as he was completely dead, being electrocuted to death. Zero turned his attention to the three remaining aliens. You're next. As he yanked one of the aliens towards him with his telekinesis, he proceeds to give him a bear hug as the aliens begin to scream out in pain. As Zero squeezed every bone in his body until he fell limp, as he crushed the alien to death, as his eyes popped out of his sockets, as he tossed the body outside the arena, hitting the wall, leaving a blood splat onto the wall. Disappointing. There's only two of you left. And yet, you still haven't managed to impress me, nor have you gave me a worthy challenge. At this rate, your planet is doomed. Be eradicated. Such a pity. I had enough of this. You two come at me all at once. Both aliens charge at Zero, only to get heat vision in their heads, killing them instantly. At the same time, they fell to the ground, dead, before they even could get halfway close to Zero. I gave your pitiful planet a chance. You failed to impress me. Therefore, your planet will be eradicated. No one will survive. You have no one but to blame yourself. As Brainiac Zero was about to destroy the planet, as he was hovering in the sky, suddenly a glowing green fist hit Zero in the face as he goes flying into a few buildings as green lanterns appeared. They have finally arrived to protect this planet from the invasion. They thought they were facing against Brainiac. They were surprised to see him instead, Brainiac Zero, in his stead, but they don't know that. Zero recovered quite fast as he walked through the dust cloud, coming into the view of the Green Lanterns. Your uniforms and your green power rings, and that symbol on your chest. You must be the Green Lanterns from the Green Lantern Corps. You came too late, Green Lanterns. You could not save this planet. This pathetic planet and its pathetic species will be eradicated alongside you as well, Green Lantern Corps. Not going to happen. Surrender quietly. Don't make us use force. We the Green Lantern Corps of the Green Lanterns of the Green Lantern Corps place you under arrest for countless acts of murder, terror, and judging by the Brainiac mothership in the sky, you most likely guilty of other atrocities as well. So you're here to protect these lower life forms? Of course we are. We are the Green Lantern Corps. This planet is under the protection of the Green Lanterns, and this entire sector is patrolled by the Green Lantern Corps. See how you protect everyone when they're all dead. Brainiac Zero's eyes begin to glow green as a green heat vision beam shoot out and begin to move like dark seed omega beams, going through all of the aliens in the city, killing everyone. Women, children, men, No one was left alive, except for himself and the Green Lanterns. As everyone in the city dropped dead to the floor at the same time. The Lanterns were horrified. "You bastard! You'll pay for that!" As one of the Green Lanterns rushed towards Brainiac Zero, as one of his comrades, one of his other Green Lanterns, tell him to stop, seeing Zero's having a smirk on his face. Brainiac Zero caught the Green Lantern by the neck when he got into reaching range. He simply snapped the Green Lantern's neck as the green power ring began to glow and fly off his finger, as Brainiac Zero caught the power ring in his hand as he increased the pressure. Power ring began to crack. Then it shattered, releasing a bright green flash. As he opened his palm to see the remnants of the power ring, nothing but dust of green could be seen. The rest of the Green Lanterns gasped in horror, seeing one of their power rings so easily destroyed. "Do you now understand your situation, Green Lanterns? You're at your depth. You're out of your league. You're nothing without your fancy little rings. Without those accessories, you're weak, nothing but pathetic." All of the Green Lanterns unleash a powerful green beams out of their power rings all at once. Instead of Brainiac Zero receiving damage, he just absorbed the green beams of energy and shot his own green beam out of his hand, doubling his power from absorbing their beams of energy and vaporizing one of the Green Lanterns. As he managed to grab the floating power ring, and crushed it in his hands. As another flash could be seen, another power ring was destroyed by Brainiac Zero. One of the Green Lanterns told his comrade to call for some reinforcements. He's far too dangerous and powerful. They can't allow him to leave this planet. If he does, they're all dead. They've never seen someone destroy a power ring so easily, and he's already done it twice. One of the Green Lanterns sent out a distress call and a call for reinforcements using his power ring, while the other Green Lanterns engaged Brainiac Zero in combat. Zero disappeared. He moved so fast they couldn't see him, as he reappeared right in the middle of the small group of Green Lanterns as he screamed out. Each a devastating sound wave by his mere voice, as all of the Green Lanterns covered their ears as they dropped to the ground, heading the street hard. Zero hovered above them and extended his hands outwards, upwards, creating a huge green lightning bolt. "Die, Green Lanterns." As he swung it down, there was a bright flash of green. When the flash died down, it was nothing but a huge crater. As you can see Zero holding several green power rings in his hand as he begins to crush them all at once, as they begin to crack, as there is several flashes of green. When the flashes of green receded, you see nothing but green dust from the power rings being destroyed. He commanded the mothership to dig into the planet's surface. As he slowly returns back to his planet, once the mothership reach the core of the planet, he immediately begins to make the ship leave the planet's atmosphere. The moment he got back to the ship, he made it into the planet's atmosphere as the planet begins the process of blowing up, eventually killing everyone in the process. But as you see, a small city in the palm of his hands, in a glass container, before he left the planet, he captured and shrunk one of the other cities. He put the shrunken city in his spot, adding the first addition to his collection. He decided to capture one of the cities anyways, just as a reminder and out of principle. Zero sat on the throne in the mothership, thinking on where to go next. He could either continue to target a random civilization and capture another city, or he could do something that his father hasn't accomplished yet, to attack the Green Lantern's home world and shrink their capital of the Green Lantern Corps home planet and add it to his collection. He decided his next target will be the Green Lantern Corps home planet, Oa. But on his way, he came across a planet where all the humans on this world have ability called quirks. At least that's what he's learned from the Brainiac scouts he sent out to learn about the planet. But Zero wanted to check this planet out personally. The aliens that inhabit this planet, they look exactly like humans. He saw several digital images of humans during his learning about Earth when he was doing his education by his father. The civilization compared to Earth to this one is quite similar. They even have similar names for their countries, like Japan and America. He decided to take a look at this world. The humanoids that inhabited personally. As he left the mothership, as the mothership is in the planet's atmosphere of the planet, he has nothing to worry about his ship being spotted. The civilization doesn't have access to space travel, nor do they have advanced satellites enough to detect his mothership. That's the major difference compared to the humans on Earth. They seem to be more focused on their abilities, what they call quirks. He easily made it onto the planet by flying out of his ship and entering the planet's atmosphere. After all, he can breathe in any environment that he finds himself in. Space, underwater, it doesn't matter. He landed in a vast forest outside of the city of the country they call Japan, near Mount Fuji. Yet again, similar name compared to Earth. He decided he'll make the mountain his home base, as he uses Brainiac bots to cut into the mountain and make a home base inside Fuji, and tap into the magma for energy that lay dormant in Fuji Mountain to power up any electronics for his base. Before he ventured out of Mount Fuji, he started to do mass production of Brainiac bots for the incoming invasion of this planet. Not only will he attack from the sky, but he'll also attack on the land at the same time. The aliens of this planet won't even know what hit them. As fun as the tournament he tried on the previous world, he decided to take another approach during this time around. He wants to take this planet and siphon all of the natural resources without interference from the wider galaxy. He doesn't want to draw too much attention to himself. He doesn't want the Green Lanterns to know of his existence until it's too late. He needs this planet's natural resources in preparation to attack the home world of the Green Lantern Corps, Oa. Attacking the Green Lantern home planet takes preparation, and the Green Lantern does have greater numbers. He's no fool. He knows when they're by themselves, they're easy to take out. But when they're all grouped together and attack all at once, even that sort of battle will be quite difficult for him to win. Not impossible, but it would take some effort on his part. But for now, he'll lay low on this planet, inside this mountain that seems to have an active volcano for a power source. He believes his father would be quite interested in these humans on this planet. Seems to display a variation of abilities, some more useful than others. He planned to add many cities to his collection. When he's done with his world, when there's nothing left to drain, he'll destroy it. While his base is being created by the Brainiac bots, and more Brainiac bots is being created as well, he decided to venture into the city. Using the alias Deku. He just likes the name. It just sounds right to him. He might adopt the name. He might adopt the name moving forward, but for now, he'll be known as Deku while he's on this planet. First thing Deku noticed entering the city, there's a lot of images of a blonde humanoid called All Might. The aliens on this planet seems to be worship the overly buff blonde man. He also noticed this world has heroes just like Earth. Interesting, this planet has heroes as well. If they have heroes here, they also will have villains. Interesting. Very interesting. Deku saw a crowd gathering up as Mount Lady is having her debut match, still in the spotlight from Kami Woods. Interesting, this humanoid woman can increase her size to be a giant with a fascinating ability. And the other one has the power to create wood and use it for combat. That's as impressive as well. He began to walk away from the crowd as the villain was captured by the heroes and taken away. After he walked around listening to the locals talk, he finally got their language down. Deku's peaceful walk was interrupted by sounds of battle by Muscular fighting the water hose heroes in the bad part of town where this part of town was sealed off. This basically part of town is ran by villains, specifically All for One. He runs it in the shadows. When Muscular was about to strike the final blow on the water hose heroes, Deku stopped his fist by catching it in his hand. He's not saving the heroes. He's only intervening because he's after Muscular as a lab experiment. He wants to see what makes these humanoids tick. He plans to defeat him and to run very painful experiments on him back at his base in Mount Fuji. What we have here, another hero. Wait your turn. I'll deal with you when I kill those two heroes. Deku did not give him a verbal response. He only tightened his fist across his hand and threw Muscular into a nearby building. Deku completely ignored the knockout heroes that's on the ground. He's not interested in them. As he walked through the smash opening of the building to see Muscular getting back up. Fine, if you want to die so badly, you could die first. You talk a big game for such a weakling. Weakling am I? As he increased his muscle fibers in his arm as he threw out a punch at Deku. By his surprise, Deku's surprise, he was launched into several buildings as Deku skid to the stop in the middle of the street, while Muscular began to walk towards him with a smirk on his face. You're a lot tougher than I took you. Try this again. You're a lot tougher than I thought you were, brat. You know how to take a punch. I didn't know this was going to be so much fun. Hopefully you won't die too soon. Deku blitzed Muscular and slammed his fist into his face as Muscular went through several walls, shooting through building after building like a rocket. Luckily for the two of them, they're currently in a sealed part of the city where the villains have complete control. The likelihood of someone interrupting them is very unlikely. Muscular popped his jaw back in place. His jaw just got dislocated from the single punch from that long green hair brat. But despite the pain Muscular's feeling right now, he has a massive grin on his face. He's starting to enjoy himself. Not bad, kid. Not only you're durable, but you're strong as well. You got a vicious right hook. I think I like you, kid. It's a shame I'm going to have to murder you. But on the upside, brat, we could have fun in the meantime. You're very funny, lower life form, to think you could actually eliminate me. But with all means, proceed. What's your name, kid? So I know what to write on your tombstone. Very well, lower life form. I go by Deku for now. Well, Deku, I go by Muscular. After all, you should know the name of the man who's going to kill you. Deku kicked a parked car towards Muscular. When the car got close enough, he hit the car with his green heat vision, making the car explode, sending Muscular back into a nearby brick wall. But luckily for Muscular, he activated his muscle fibers on his back, cushioning the blow. But he still felt the ricochet from the explosion. He didn't come out of that fully unharmed. Fascinating. You're definitely an interesting specimen. You were barely scraped. You barely was damaged by that last attack. Let's see how you handle when I kick it up a notch. Deku flash stepped from his location and reappeared right in front of Muscular and immediately began to land devastating blows in a combination strike. As he slammed his fist into Muscular, into his chest, then proceed to give Muscular a right hook into his ribs, then grabbed Muscular by the hair and gave him a devastating headbutt in the face, making Muscular daze from the head blow. As he stepped backwards a few steps, Deku did not relent, as he continued to throw blow after blow into Muscular's body. Deku started to implement a devastating knee attacks into his stomach. Muscular increased his muscle fibers and began to attack back. When their fists collided, they created a shockwave, blowing away all the nearby cars into the buildings. Impressive. I almost actually felt that. This is what I've been looking for, a real battle. But how long, I wonder, can you keep up with me, you lower life form? I don't know what you mean by lower life form, but I'll play along. What exactly are you? Are you some sort of hero, villain, a vigilante? I'm something far more worse than those titles. That's very ominous. I like it. That's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judged by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.